I have 55 piercings, and as you could imagine, I get asked a lot of questions about my piercings. And in this week's video, I wanted to go through my mouth piercings. I have 7 piercings on my mouth. I have 2 tongue piercings and 5 lip piercings. When I was, I think 14 or 15, I pierced this one by myself. Not a good idea because it's slightly off center, but me being my rebellious, shitty little 15, 14-year-old self, I was like, F it, I'm gonna do it. And it didn't end too well, but it healed eventually and it's off center, but whatever. I can't remember what I got next, if it was my first tongue piercing or if it was another lip piercing. But I got my tongue pierced the first time in 2013. When I was in New Zealand on holiday, I got it pierced on my 23rd birthday. And I had another week and a half left on my holiday in New Zealand, and I was a little bit miserable for the following week after that. But I healed pretty quickly, and within a week it was healed. But something that you should not do after you get your tongue pierced is to drink any dairy products. And I didn't know this rule, but I didn't have any problems with it. But not everybody is going to have that happen. So if you're getting your tongue pierced, don't have yogurt, milk, anything like that. Any ice creams. It can cause yeast infections in your mouth. I got my second tongue piercing last year, just before Easter, and that one was so much worse. It hurt so bad because it's on the side of my tongue rather than in the middle. It is so much thicker on the side of my tongue than in the middle, and it goddamn hurt, and it took like 3 weeks to heal. And in that time I was miserable. I could barely talk. If I was to try and say a word with an R sounding in it, I could not say it. And I had a horrible lisp, and my tongue was swollen and it hurt, and my mouth was all, blech, it was all white and disgusting. But after that, yes, it healed, and if I could do it over again, yes, I would still get it pierced, but it was just slightly miserable for the 3 weeks that it took to heal. I got my Madonna second, I think, which is this one, and I can't remember which one I got in order, but I have my Monroe, my Madonna, snake bites, and then the Librette. I got asked a question once, something about, oh, how do you get used to having so many balls in your mouth? And I'm like, okay. I have 4 balls in my mouth and 5 balls on the outside of my mouth, but I don't find any problem with that. And yes, wipe those dirty thoughts out of your head. My tongue piercings never get in my way. Like, I was asked one time if I can chew gum and things like that, and I have no problem doing that. Every now and then when I am eating something, I might bite down on the tongue bar, or one of the balls might unscrew themselves, but thankfully I've never actually swallowed one. But that being said, please don't go out and swallow your tongue bar, because I don't think that would be a good idea. When I was first contemplating getting my tongue pierced for the first time, the main thing that I was worried about was not being able to do any more tricks with my tongue. Now, I was slightly terrified, even though I was told by a few piercers that it won't do any damage to the nerves in my tongue. And thankfully they were right, and I had no problems with it. I can still do all of the crazy tricks with my tongue. And what I noticed after I got the second tongue piercing is that it became a lot easier to do this trick. I actually find it a lot harder to go the other way. The only problem I've found with doing my tongue tricks, and the things that I find harder now having the tongue bars in there, is when I'm doing the Clover with my tongue. It's mainly the one on the side that I find it difficult to do the Clover with, but I can still do it if I take the tongue bars out. I was asked one time to measure the length and the width of my tongue. I'm not gonna do that. That's just weird. I do have a wide tongue, but it's not necessarily long. Like, I can almost touch my chin, but not quite. And I cannot touch my nose. That's the best I can do. With the pain of my mouth piercings. All right, tongue piercing, that did not hurt much. It was a slight surprise because I had no clue how it was going to feel. And I cannot compare my tongue piercing to any of the other piercings that I've had or any of the tattoos that I've had. Tattoos feel completely different to piercings. Tongue piercings feel completely different to ear piercings. So I can't really give you an exact definite answer to that, but I do know that the side of my tongue hurt a lot. I hated that one and it bled so bad. With my lip piercings, this one hurt more than this one, but this one hurt more than this one. So everybody is going to experience pain completely differently. So please don't take my word on, all right, tongue's not going to hurt. It might hurt like hell for you, but it might not hurt at all. So nobody is going to experience the same sort of pain level for getting a piercing as other people would. When you first get a lip piercing, they are going to put a longer bar in it. It'll usually be there for 1 to 2 weeks or however long it takes for your mouth piercings to heal. This long bar is to allow for swelling. Please do not change it until it is completely healed. You might look a little bit stupid having a long ass bar sticking out of your mouth, but it's either that or pain. A lot of pain to put a smaller bar in there where it's going to swell over the top of it. Believe me, you don't want to go through that pain. And just like with my tongue piercings, I don't find my lip piercings ever to get in the way, and a lot of people think that they rub on my teeth, and they don't. None of them will rub on my teeth. The only time that ever happens is if I purposely do it, or if I move my mouth in a different way, some of the bars might touch my tooth up here. And my tongue bar, no, doesn't actually touch my teeth, only when I bite down onto it when I'm eating food. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week.